Hey guys, just a really quick video today to let you know that I took part in a thing called #middlegrademarch. I forgot what month it was there for a second. So middle grade March is where there was a challenge put forward to read books, middle school books that you've been meaning to for a while, and there was all these challenges and stuff, but I just saw that as I have a middle grade book that I started when I was, well, I think 13 years old, and I read the first couple of books. It's a series, and I thought, hey, I should dive back into that now and give it a go. So the series is called Del Toro Quest, and it's by Emily Rodda. So this is a compilation book. Obviously that's not one middle grade book, it's 6 of these. I think it's 6. Let's have a look. 8. This is 8 books. So I got these two in 2001 when I was in year 7, 6, 5? Anyway, I got these when I was a kid, and I did read these two, and I think one after this as well, the first 3. And I liked them. I really liked the character Jasmine, and I think I know the entire plotline of the entire series, but I didn't finish reading it then, and I always thought, oh, I really want to finish that quest. I want to know the rest of that journey. But there were so many of them, and books were expensive, and my attention span just wasn't that great. And now in retrospect, reading them back, I think I didn't beg and plead and choose to get more and more of these books was because they get a bit repetitive. So this month I've read, or even half a month, I only started halfway through, I read 5 of these, which means I'm up to here in this one, but there's 3 of these. So what I was hoping would happen is that I would get so incredibly into them that I would just want to read all of this entire series. I would just want to get into it and get it finished, and I thought, oh, you know, if I get a good way through in a month, I'll just finish it because that's how I work. But I still didn't get into them. I love the characters, but it gets really repetitive. I couldn't even get through the first book, which is 8 of these, so that would just be basically telling the same story with just a different kind of monster, but it follows the same formula, which sometimes is good. It's a thing that a lot of books do, and I think Bookie Laura, you were saying that book that you read, the second book, followed very much the same formula as the first one. Was it Percy Jackson? I haven't read that, but I'd like to, even if it's just to see that formula that you speak of. The formula for these books is basically, there's Leaf, Barter and Jasmine, the 3 traveling companions who go to a new area, find some adversity, get through it, and then find the belt of Del Toro, because the quest is that there's this magical belt that the king needs to save his country from the Shadow Lord. And so the 7 gems, sorry, 6 maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, I was right. So the 7 gems are spread out all over the countryside, and he needs to go and collect them all, and they're all guarded by a monster. And so Leaf, Barter and Jasmine use their powers, their skills, survival skills, and the belt has magical powers, and they overcome 2 adversities. So there's like the arc is there, and there's the little one and the big one, and yeah, so it just became really repetitive, and I did it 5 times, and I was just like, I don't think I can do this anymore. So I did stop reading it, but I am a good chunk of the way through the first one. Maybe I'll start reading, every March, maybe I'll pick it back up and read like half of one of these every month and get it done in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, I had to buy the whole set because I was at a book fair and they were there, and I collected them, and they were cheap and they're beautiful. Sometimes I tend to finish books, and books that I haven't finished I tend to try again, but at the same vein, if I can't get into it, it just drags out and out. Like this has literally been dragging on since middle school, since primary school, which just makes me think that I should have gotten into it and finished it this month when the challenge was there, and well, hey, look, I tried. I'm gonna keep them, and hopefully one day I'm gonna finish reading them. Overall, I would say that my middle grade March challenge has been successful because I got through so many and so much, which I wouldn't have read if I hadn't have seen that challenge, because these have been sitting on my shelf for a couple of years now and sitting on my TBR for literally since 2001, so that's exciting. And I think I'll slowly just plod through them. They're epic, and I'm reading so many epics at the moment. It's three epics I'm reading at the moment. I really enjoyed these books and their structure, but because they're so repetitive, it's hard to read them all at once. Maybe I'll try and read one a month just until they're all done. Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. So my new challenge that's come out of Middle Grade March just now that you saw me develop is that I'm gonna read one book from the Del Toro Quest series a month, at least, just one, and then that way I might get through the series. And I'm not oversaturated with the repetitive nature of the book. I like that it's easy to follow, but also really quite scary. Like some of the monsters in there, there's a hive, like there's one called the Shifting Sands, and they go to this desert, and the sand itself, like, it's full of these monsters and things, but that's not the scary part. Those are just creatures that live in that environment. The scary part is that the sand itself is some sort of hive, swarm thing that kind of has a consciousness of itself, and yeah, I don't know, that just really freaked me out in like a great monster kind of way. Yeah, so it's super easy to read, but as I said, repetitive in nature, just like this video. So I will have these as a constant TBR, one a month for the rest of my life, probably. And we'll see how we go. Yeah, so that's my Middle Grade March wrap up, I guess. I'll tell you which ones I read. The Forests of Silence, The Lake of Tears, The City of Rats, The Shifting Sands, and I'm halfway through Dread Mountain. I've nearly finished Dread Mountain. I couldn't finish Dread Mountain because the formula was the same. But maybe it doesn't, maybe it breaks, and I need to find out if it breaks. I'll try and finish Dread Mountain over Easter, but yeah, and then I might check in with you to let you know how I'm going with that self-appointed challenge that I've just made up. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching BookTube. I will talk to you again hopefully soon. How do you turn this thing off?